At the risk of just becoming a Spider-Man channel at this point, considering this is my third video on him in the last month alone, I had to drop everything I was doing to talk about this movie because we just got two huge brand new updates that I need to talk about as soon as humanly possible. I swear, every single time, without failure, that there is a brand new day casting announcement, the movie takes a radical turn into something completely unexpected. I have no idea what they're cooking up anymore, and that is so exciting to me. I'm so excited about this that I'm currently recording this video in my car. Look at this luxurious view I have of the rain that I really hope won't come through in the audio. Basically what happened is that not only did we get the casting announcement of Tramell Tillman, but also a rumor that Yelena Belova of all characters is going to appear in this film. Two announcements that caught me completely by surprise and have entirely reshaped how I look at this movie, and I can't wait any longer to start yapping, so I'm gonna do that now. I want to start with Tramell Tillman's casting because that's been officially confirmed, so I think it's worth speculating on more than anything else. And I am so beyond excited that we're going to have him not just in the MCU, but especially in the Spider-Man corner of the universe. I don't get to talk much about other media besides superhero projects on this channel, so I just want to say that I am obsessed with the show Severance. It's probably my favorite currently running TV show, and Tramell has always been such an incredible highlight of that series. An immensely talented and multifaceted actor who can effortlessly walk the line between charming and terrifying as if it was nothing. The way he's able to switch like that in a scene is a masterclass in how to make a character compelling. I am praying to every god out there that they've cast him as a reoccurring character in the MCU because I would be so mad if he's just a one-and-done actor. I don't want to see him play a character like Boomerang or Tarantula who's just gonna be in that opening villain montage. I am not above getting on my hands and knees to beg for him to be cast as someone like Norman Osborn in a perfect world, or maybe even someone like Tombstone who's rumored to appear in this film. I think he could give a chilling performance and elevate that character a lot. There are at least 80 different Spider-Man characters I could realistically see him playing, and every single one of them would be perfect. This is such an insane get for Marvel, and I cannot wait to see who he's actually playing in the movie. Please don't waste this opportunity and make the most out of a rising star. God, he's so good. I was rewatching Mission Impossible Final Reckoning the other day, and his delivery of
"And you must be out of your mind"
is one of the funniest things ever. He is such a good actor, man. I am jazzed that we're gonna have him in this movie. So much so that I just unironically used jazzed in a sentence. I guess that's the thing I do now. Alright, now that we got the official news out of the way, it's time to jump into the rampant speculation territory as we look at this rumor from Daniel RPK, where he claims that Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova will star in Spider-Man Brand New Day. A sentence I truly never thought I would say in my entire life, but I honestly should have expected something like this with how many insane characters are in this film. As always, take this rumor with a grain of salt. RPK only has a 78% accuracy rating on the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit, if that means anything, but he has been giving us a lot of behind-the-scenes production updates on Brand New Day and gotten a lot about this movie correct, so that's why I believe this report is reliable enough to talk about in a video. I say all that, but the odds that Marvel just comes out and denies it within the next hour just to spite me are very high. If this is true, I feel like we have to thank Tom Holland and Florence Pugh for making it happen. Both of them have separately manifested this in press interviews when asked what characters they want to work alongside in future MCU installments.
I want to work with Florence Pugh. A really cool Spider-Man Black Widow movie would be a fun little twist.
I mean, it would have to be Spider-Man. I think they'd be so silly together. And I've been desperate to meet Tom for such a long time.
Like, come on, you can't tell me they didn't corner Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios and force him to do this. I also think it's pretty neat that we're having the two Spider characters in the MCU crossover like this. There's honestly more connections between them than I ever really thought of before today. Besides all of the Spider theming, the new Avengers are now located in the Avengers Tower in the heart of New York City, so it makes sense that Yelena and Spider-Man would come across each other in some way. And for a movie that's going to have Peter at his absolute lowest point in life, Yelena might be the exact kind of person he needs to talk to since she is very familiar dealing with depression. I said that way too enthusiastically. I get a little too excited when superheroes are depressed, I think. But here's the thing. After giving it some thought for a few hours, I feel like there are 4 different scenarios for how Yelena could fit into this movie. There is such a delicate balance of characters already operating in this film with Spider-Man, the Punisher, the Hulk, and now Yelena, which is just an insane thought to say out loud, which is just kind of hitting me for the first time how crazy that is. But they have to be very careful with how they bring all of these characters together to make sure that Spider-Man doesn't get overshadowed in his own movie. I can easily see how someone like Punisher will fit into the film, and even a character like the Hulk, if you're going to be telling a movie about anger and loneliness, loneliness, but Yelena is a little harder to place. The first scenario is just that Yelena is a supporting character for the entire movie. While I don't think this one is the most likely because I feel like we would have heard about it by now, and we would have had actual outlets reporting on it, I do see how she could thematically fit into the film. Yelena was just the heart of Thunderbolts a few months ago and showed us that she is a deeply troubled and vulnerable character, struggling with this crushing sense of isolation as she lost her sister and now finding refuge among her new friends in the Thunderbolts. New Avengers, I still gotta get used to saying that. She has been in the exact shoes that Peter is now, as she threw herself into her work as an assassin and found no joy in doing it. It was a toxic relationship, but she'd become so closed off from other people that she was just spending her nights drinking herself away. She knows what it's like to feel as if the entire world is against you, preying on your downfall and trying to make your life as miserable as possible. And seeing her connect with Peter on that emotional level could be a very cathartic experience for both characters, and is exactly the kind of thing Peter needs to hear right now. That being said, I don't think Peter should unmask himself at all to other people in this film, let alone be so openly vulnerable when under the Spider-Man mask, where he's basically trauma dumping on Yelena and telling her everything that's wrong with him. So I think I'm going to rule this option out for now. Maybe it's something that affects the movie on a much grander scale, like the New Avengers appearing in a cameo to stop the Savage Hulk at one point in the movie. Honestly, I had this whole pitch planned for that idea, but I don't even think I'm going to entertain it because I really don't want that. On a certain level, it makes sense that the Avengers would stop something that's happening in their own city, but it's really not worth the cost of undercutting the movie and taking away the privilege of stopping the Hulk from Spider-Man himself. It just makes it seem like he's a character who can't get the job done on his own, and I do not want that in the slightest. No. What I want to see, and what I think will happen, is that Yelena is going to have a brief appearance in the movie to try and recruit Peter during the montage at the start of the film. It's kind of the worst kept secret of all time right now that this movie is going to open with a montage catching us up with what Peter has been up to over the last few years since the ending of No Way Home. And I think using a popular character like Yelena as a stand-in for the Avengers, offering Peter a way back into the superhero community, is a great way to show just how far Peter's come when he turns them down. Show us just how much he shut himself off from working with other people as he declines an offer to work alongside the team he dreamed of being on as a kid. He was so excited when he got christened as an actual Avenger during Infinity War, so I think that having him turn down that offer this time would be an incredibly powerful way of showing us Peter's mental state right now, to the point where he's completely closed himself off from even working alongside other superheroes. It is a really natural way to make him feel involved in the grander scheme of the MCU and give him those connections with the new Avengers that might come in handy during something like Doomsday, all while still continuing his character arc in a satisfying way and showing that the ending of No Way Home has serious repercussions on his mental health. I think that is by far the most likely option and the best possible use of Yelena in this movie. As much as I love to see her and Florence Pugh, I don't need Yelena as a supporting character in this movie. The cast is already incredibly stacked, and I feel like putting her in it would be a little bit too much. Just that brief cameo to reinforce the stakes and show us Peter's growth as a character is more than enough for me. The last of my 4 scenarios I mentioned before is definitely something I came up with myself and not an idea I stole from my Discord server, link in the description to join, and that's the new Avengers arriving in a post-credit scene to try and stop the Hulk after Peter has already dealt with the situation. It's basically the Justice League cameo in Peacemaker, but it's such a funny idea, I honestly wouldn't hate to see it happen here. Not only would it be hilarious, but it also reinforces the idea that the new Avengers suck at their job. And also, it would mean I get to see Ghost again, and I will always take an opportunity like that. It definitely won't happen, and Yelena's just gonna be there for that cameo, but it's such a funny idea that I figured it was worth mentioning. Or, you know what? Honestly, this could just be Marvel feeding fake information to scoopers to try and weed out the moles and then kill them via firing squad, and that would make this entire video pointless and a waste of my time. So, I mean, that's a really fun theory. But whatever is happening with this movie, I am really excited to see what they're cooking up. I genuinely have no idea what to expect from this movie anymore, and I assume that by the time I finish making this video, there's already going to be another big announcement that I want to talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead and end things there. I gotta go finish editing this weekend's Superman video already, but why don't you let me know down below what you think about all this casting news in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I would genuinely love to hear what everyone has to say and continue the conversation down below. And while you're at it, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. If you do subscribe, I heard that you're gonna be the next person cast in Brand New Day, so you might as well take your chances and hit that subscribe button. This is 100% a real thing, okay? Kevin Feige told me himself.